What's up, speeders? Sonic023 here, and today we'll be reviewing the Sonic Movie 3 5-inch Jakks-specific Sonic figure. I just got this on the 13th, which is today for me, as of recording this. But yeah, I got the Sonic Movie 3 figure after 4 months of waiting. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at him. This is my child right here. Alright, so first let's look at the boxing. So as you can see Sonic in there. And it says Sonic over here. And as you can see, the boxing just looks so nice. And you can see the Sonic 3 logo up here, which is so cool. And you can see a Shadow render, a Tails render, a Knuckles render, and a Sonic render over here, but they're all old renders. And this is like a Sonic Movie 3 background, and it says 3 and up Jakks specific. And on the bottom it just says, I have no idea what this says, and that's the price. And back here, this is the synopsis. So as you can see, the synopsis looks awesome, and you can see Sonic back here, which is awesome. And there's the logo for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'm gonna watch that movie. It's just peak cinema. And it says Sonic is on a roll, saved the world twice, but who's counting, and has 2 besties for his team, but will they be enough to handle a devastating new threat? Which is of course Shadow! It's beautiful! And down here you can see that there is Tails, Shadow, and Robotnik, which I will be making a review about. I waited 4 months for this to arrive, which is crazy. But yeah, the boxing on this guy just looks so good, and I can't wait to unbox this. But yeah, overall I really like the box, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But I don't care about the box, I care what's inside the box, so let's open it. Speeders, guess what? I finally got him out of the box! Now, before we get into Sonic's articulation, let's look at Sonic's detail first, shall we? First, we'll look at the detail on Sonic's head. First part of the head, the eyes. Now, as you can see, the eyes look very nice, and they look different from the rest of the Sonic figure line. You know, the usual Sonic figures, especially the game ones. But the reason that is because they put plastic over Sonic's eyes to give it more realistic look, kind of like the Mario movie figure eyes, and to give the Sonic figures a more in-depth look on their eyes. That gimmick is very cool. If you tilt Sonic, it kind of looks like Sonic is looking at you from an angle. Yeah, which is really cool. So you can make him look like he's looking up at you, looking down on you. But yeah, that feature is really cool. But yeah, I really like that feature, and make it seem more realistic. And looking at Sonic's muzzle, there's not much to talk about except the fact that it's probably painted, which I think it is. And it's painted very well. I really like it. And looking at Sonic's nose, well, there's still not much to talk about because, well, it's Sonic's nose. There's not much sculpting detail, but you can kind of see Sonic's nostrils, I think. If the camera will focus, we can see it. But yeah, there's not much to talk about Sonic's nose because it's just black. And we can't forget about the sculpting detail on this guy. It's so good. Like, they sculpted every single quill on this guy, and that is so cool. And the fact they actually did that was amazing. And there's even sculpting detail behind the ears. Sick. But even inside the ears, bro, I think I can kind of see a bit of detailing, like sculpting detail in there. It looks amazing. There's even like there's even like fur detail on his forehead, and on the side. It looks so good. The amount of sculpting detail on this guy is just so supreme. They even added like these weird quill thingies. The sculpting detail on the back of Sonic's head is very good. And it just looks so supreme, bro. Moving on to the detail on Sonic's torso. As you can see Sonic's fur. Yeah. There's a lot of fur detail on Sonic's torso, and it looks so good. There's even detail on Sonic's butterfly joints. That's crazy. And on Sonic's back, it looks so good. I think they hand painted Sonic's torso. Most likely, they did hand paint it, Sonic's torso. Now let's look at the detail on the arms. So, as you can see, Sonic's detail on the arms, there is a lot of detail. Well, in terms of sculpting. In terms of paint, not much. Because all the blue on Sonic is mostly plastic. But, it's alright. But the fur detail on Sonic's arms is very good. There's not much paint detail on the guy, but there is good sculpting detail. I love the sculpting detail on this guy. The detail on this guy looks really good. And overall, it's just amazing. Now moving on to the leg detail. The detail on the legs, well, there's not much paint detail, but there is a lot of sculpting detail. And the sculpting detail on this figure is just so good. It looks amazing. The sculpting detail on this guy is just peak. Now let's look at Sonic's articulation. Starting off with the head. Now as you can see, this is Sonic's head, and yeah, he can spin his head 360. Hold on. He can spin his head all the way around like any usual Sonic figure. And he can look up this much, down this much, downwards, it's good, up, not so much. And he can look side to side because his head is on a ball joint. Great. You can also do this with his head. Moving on to the arms. Let's look at this one. The Sonic has butterfly joints, which is new on a Sonic figure, and it can go forward this much and back this much. And yes, Sonic's arms can go 360 like this. And he can put his arm up this much. That is a great amount of articulation, it's crazy. Not only that, he also has a bicep swivel. How crazy is that? A bicep swivel. But yeah, the bicep swivel can go all the way around. Moving on to the elbow. Sonic can put his elbow up. Oh my goodness. I've never had a Sonic figure put his elbow up like that. And yeah, you can make Sonic swivel his elbow. And like that. And looking at Sonic's hands, he can put his hand forward that much and back this much, which is awesome. And yeah, of course, his hand can spin 360. And you can open his fingers up that much and put it back in like that. Now, moving on to Sonic's torso, well, it can't really crunch that well. I mean, it can slightly crunch like that and go back that much. I mean, at least it's still there, slightly. But he can spin. He can spin it. Yeah. And oh my goodness! It looks like he has a... But yeah, you can spin him. You can twist his torso. And now looking at Sonic's legs articulation, he can put his leg out that much, back this much, and he can spread it like that. So you can basically make him look like he's doing the splits. Crazy. Not only that, you can do this and do that. Yes. Which is super cool. Not only that, Sonic has a thigh swivel, so you can spin it around like that. Not only that, the knee articulation is super good. He can kick back this much, and yeah, you already seen how much he can kick forward with his knee. Now moving on to the feet, Sonic can put his feet down this much. Oh my goodness, bro, this is so good! And out this much. Not only that, it can go to side this much. The amount of articulation on this guy will help with so many dynamic poses. Now let's go ahead and pose Sonic, shall we? Now for the first pose, I made Sonic do the most iconic Sonic pose ever. The Sonic Adventure 1 pose. Yeah, I had to do it because, well, it's really iconic, and plus, he can do it, and it's so cool looking. Now this pose is something you'll recognize too, because this is the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 pose, or like the finger pointing pose, where Sonic does that one of the most iconic poses ever. Now this pose is Sonic in a combat pose. Yeah, Sonic doing combat. And he's about to fight someone, maybe Shadow the Hedgehog, who knows? That would be really cool. But yeah, Sonic looks so cool in this pose, and I love it. No notes. 10 out of 10. Now this next pose is Sonic running. I mean, like, you have to make a pose of Sonic running because it's Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest thing alive. Now this is supposed to be Sonic doing that funny pose in Sonic Adventure. But yeah, with this Sonic figure, he makes it look so good. Now for the final pose, I made Sonic do the idle animation from the original Sonic games, where he's like tapping his foot and looking at his wrist. But yeah, that's the final pose. Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention, you can make Sonic hold items. Yeah, pretty cool. So for the first item, you can hold a Sonic ring. Yeah, you can make Sonic hold a Sonic ring, which is cool. Next item he can hold is this microphone I made. Now, I made it out of Scotch tape. I know what it looks like to you guys. Don't you even dare make a comment saying, "Yo dude, that looks like a dick." Sonic can hold a scythe, and Sonic can hold the Doomslayer's gun. Now we're done for the item holding. Now let's do some size comparisons. For the first figure, let's compare Sonic to Sonic. Now as you can see, this movie Sonic compared to this movie Sonic, there is a big difference. Now the big differences will be the eyes, the mouth, paint, articulation, and the torso. For example, as you can see, this Sonic's torso is a little bit different. It's a more egg-like shape. This one is more cylinder a little bit. And of course, the points of articulation on this Sonic is way less than this guy. This guy has 22 points of articulation, and this guy has 13 points of articulation. Now moving on to one of my other Sonics, Prime Sonic. Now as you can see, movie Sonic with this movie Sonic and this Prime Sonic, there is a big difference between them. And well, Prime Sonic, well, when I thought his articulation was good, oh my goodness, this guy is just crazy. This guy's articulation is insane. And this guy's articulation was really good back then too, but this guy's articulation is way better. But this guy over here, he's still one of my favorite Sonic figures. Now a comparison to one of my other Sonics, aka Modern Sonic. Modern Sonic and Movie 3 Sonic, well, you can already see the difference. But I wish that soon in the future that modern Sonic will get this kind of treatment for his figures too. Maybe there will be a, I don't know, a dedicated 5-inch modern Sonic wave. Next up, we got classic Sonic. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. Now, I do not have Movie Tails, Movie Knuckles, Movie Shadow, or Movie Robotnik yet, but I will be getting them soon. For the final comparisons, I'll be comparing Sonic with Mechagodzilla. Now, this is a bootleg. Remember that. Bootleg Mechagodzilla, well, he's 7 inches tall. You can clearly see the height difference. Oh yeah, also, now I wanted to compare Movie 3 5-inch Sonic to his big brother. And by big brother, I mean the Ultimate Talking Sonic. But yeah, as you can see, that's the big brother, that's the little brother. Now, comparing 5-inch Sonic with the Ultimate Talking Sonic, there is a really clear size difference. Because as you can see, the Ultimate Talking Sonic is 12 inches, and Movie 3 Sonic is 5 inches. Now, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share, like, and subscribe to this video, and hit that notification bell so that way you never miss out on a new epic video. And yes, I will be reviewing all of Wave 1 and 2, if I can. And yes, I will be making content with this guy right here. I mean, it's just perfect for content. But that's all for today, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. See ya.